Hey, Sandy, we're back.
Carolyn.
I'm ready whenever you are, my
I
dear.
love that we dressed alike today.
I know, isn't that nice?
I didn't get the memo that we were supposed to wear blue, but it worked.
And I love that necklace. But anyway,
So what do you want to do today?
I'd like to connect to who's ever out there who wants to say hello.
Okay. So I always like to explain that when I work with spirit, I don't necessarily see spirit outside of you. Sometimes I'll see little lights around a person, but hearing is my strongest way of receiving messages. And it's not like I'm hearing a voice like, "Hey, Sandy, I'm over here." I don't hear that. I hear what I call internal thought. And actually what's coming to me is, and again, this is totally up to you, I can bring you into that space where you're having a connection with Jay. It's up to you.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, or we can do this together. I can start connecting with him because my sense, Carolyn, is that you are at a place in your life where you are opening up more and more and more to hear more, and without even trying, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, Sandy. The thing that's not stops me is I'm not sure how to decipher it.
I'm going to tell you, don't decipher it. Don't try. That's just your mind getting in the way, saying, I gotta, how do I make sense of this? No, you are a receptacle. So you can be the receiver. So I will just full disclosure, when I connect with spirit on my own, I'm just like any one of my clients who I'm teaching to make that connection. When I'm connecting with my dad or with my daughter, there's that chattering part of my mind that's saying, am I just hearing this because I want to hear this? Right? When we connect with our own people, it's for me, it's a little bit more challenging. When I'm connecting for you or for anyone else, I'm not connected to the information that's coming through.
Okay.
I can just receive it and give it. When I'm connecting with my dad and asking my dad or my daughter in spirit a question that I'd like an answer on, there's a part of my ego that goes, oh, are they going to tell me what I want to hear? Am I just going to, right? So it's like our mind can get in the way. But I am feeling Jay's presence. So can we go there?
Please.
He's telling you to breathe. Breathe. He says sometimes you forget to breathe. So
I totally do.
He's talking about tuning forks, Carolyn. He's showing me an image of tuning forks. And he's talking about, it's not a literal tuning fork that he wants me to talk about, but just the symbolism of what tuning forks do. He's saying, oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. He's saying he knows that you're waiting for him to become fully, quote unquote, embodied.
Mm-hmm. Awake and aware, I call it. Yeah.
Okay. And what he's saying is, it's almost like your vibration needs to shift. And I just got goosebumps in order to handle it.
Oh.
So it's interesting. I have major goosebumps coming through me because what I'm hearing is she's been waiting for me to become awake and aware. I'm waiting for her to become more awake and aware. Mm-hmm. Because like two tuning forks that resonate at the same frequency, he says right now our frequencies are they're still a little bit off, and that's okay. He's just like, isn't she adorable? She's so adorably human. Oh, wow. He just said, do you know what I'm, then I hesitate to use these words because I don't want to put any guilt here because there's no guilt meant with this. Mm-hmm. But he's saying, do you know what I'm going to be, and again, I want to say quote unquote, giving up. Like the full awareness of the full awareness. Because he says, when I come back into the body, there's going to be some forgetting that I have to do.
Yes. Yes.
Of the full essence of light that he is.
I would think you'd have to. I know. I think about what he's giving up, and
well, he doesn't. He says, don't do that to yourself. Okay. But he is saying he's going to have to lower his frequency to hold a body. You can't. It's difficult to hold this because the body's a heavy frequency.
Yes.
Right. The body's very dense. And so He's going to have to lower his frequency to hold the energetic physical body. But he's happy to do that for you. Hold on a second. He's talking about trains. Like,
Trains are big in my family, yeah.
oh, are they?
Yeah.
So is your dad also in spirit?
Yes.
Did he have something to do with the trains?
He had trains, but nothing big, no.
Hold on a second. Let me just see where he wants to go with this, because he's trying to bring your dad's energy in. Oh, okay. So yes, while the trains may be significant in your family, he I don't know if I want to say that there's a train set of your dad's that's still somewhere like packed away, but you understand that?
Yeah, there is one.
Okay, because he's saying like it's all dusty, like do something with it, either use it or give it away. You don't have to save it. You don't have to save it in order to hold on to dad, because your dad, we really can't hold on to spirit. That's a myth. So it's really about, am I aware that they're around me? Sometimes we think we need to have, a physical thing, like, oh, this makes me feel closer. And I get that. I totally get that. There's nothing wrong with that. But there comes a time where we don't need the physical to know and feel that they are with us. But he's bringing me back to this train thing. He says, he's very funny.
It's funny.
Because he's saying you've been a caboose a lot of your life. Like, like at the end, like putting yourself last. And he's like, put yourself, you are the engineer, Carolyn. You are the engineer of this train. Oh, and isn't it interesting that you are the engineer of this whole holistic campus?
Is it that, or is it the fact that I am the engineer of raising my vibration, and I want to understand exactly what that is, because I will do whatever it is I need to do, but I didn't know I had to do anything else.
He says it's not a lot of work, so don't put pressure on yourself. He is talking about foods that will raise your vibration, and foods that will make your vibration more dense. He's okay. He says sugar is gonna create a denser vibration. Meats create a denser vibration. He says they're not wrong. Just be aware. Okay, if I want to raise my vibration, he says plant-based.
Okay.
Plant-based diet will raise your frequency. Makes sense, because plants are a high frequency of energy.
Right.
He says drink more water too.
Yeah. Okay, so last night I had a big old salad and 3 Christmas cookies. So
You just keep saying, "Isn't she adorable? Isn't she adorable?" So can we go back to your dad for a minute?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's an I'm sorry that wants to come through with your dad. And it feels like he's just saying there are times where he wasn't as present as he could have been. He's like, he was a hard worker, worked a lot. And as he looked back at his life during his life review, he's saying, he sees that there could have been moments where he could have just been more present.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Jay, I'm trying to stay with your dad, but Jay just keeps pulling me in, and it feels like he wants to go into a conversation with you. Hold on. Is there an Ed or Edward that links in? When I get a name or even an initial, it can be someone who's still living that they want to talk about, or someone who's on the other side. And by the way, when I say other side, there is no other side. It's all here.
No, I know what you mean. But we can understand that. I had an Ed that was a step grandfather. No.
Was he kind of grouchy, that Ed?
Yeah, he was a cop. He was
kind of gruff, is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
So his energy is going to come in very quickly just to give you an embrace, because he's like, it's all love. It's all love. Is there also C? Oh, it's okay.
Me.
I was just gonna say, is there a CAR like a Carol? And I'm like, hello, you're talking to her. But is there another? I was gonna say, is there another one of you? Is there another Carolyn or Carol or Carol Ann?
Hmm. No, my cousin's middle name is Carol, but not like in my family.
Yeah, in the lineage.
Oh, there could have been, but everyone. I mean, I had very small. Nobody's around to talk to about that.
Okay. Hmm. Oh, he just called bullshit on that.
Really? Oh, my brother, probably.
No, the fact that there's nobody around. Everyone's around. So here's what I'm hearing. It's not everybody is around, but everyone is around. They are all around you. So here's what I share with people about spirit. You know, we keep expecting them to give us a sign and let us know that they're around us. And spirit often says, you guys got to meet us halfway. Like, meet us halfway. And what that means to me is create some space where you can feel us and hear us and sense us, right? We're all looking for this lightning bolt sign. And then we question it. We go, is that a sign? Okay, if that was a sign, show me a sign that that was a sign. And we doubt everything. Even if we get that second sign, we go, okay, that was kind of cool. Show me a sign that that was a sign that that was a sign. Seriously, could you have just taken the first sign? But anyway, so Jay wants to go into he wants to know how we can help.
I would love to. I would be more than happy to. I'd love to meet him halfway.
Okay.
Because yes, in my head, it's like, okay, I just during this whole situation, as we've talked about it, he has been given permission to remember. I'm sure not all of it, but who he was and what our life was like before. And that's the sign I'm waiting for, if you will. And he gives little signs here and then just with things he says, but I get it. I have to meet him halfway. I need some guidance on how to do that.
All right. You want to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So take a breath. And you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. It won't matter.
Okay. I gotta close my eyes.
So allow yourself, Carolyn, to go into a place within your being, your sacred place, your centered place. By the way, he says he knows when you talk to his picture.
Mm-hmm.
He says she's waiting for the picture to talk back to her. He says, I'm right there with her when she talks to my picture. Okay. So we can go in through a memory that you have, or you can go to your favorite place outside, wherever you feel drawn to go.
One and the same. Those two are one and the same.
Excellent. Excellent. So just let me know where you are.
On the rocks in Newport.
Just ask him to be right there with you.
Come join me.
The way he is now. Let him show up the way he is now. In his full essence.
He hasn't changed a bit.
He says, that's how you want to see me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's beautiful. because it's really how we see everybody. We see people how we want to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to ask him? What do you want to say to him?
How can I meet you halfway?
And just allow his response.
You're doing it right now.
Exactly what I was hearing.
Was it really?
I was like so wanting to say, she's doing it. She's here halfway. Yeah. Just stay there. Don't come back to me.
Okay.
I'm holding the space for you, and I'm holding the frequency for you to step into. Just feel his energy and feel the resonance of his energy with yours. What does that feel like?
It feels fun.
Mm.
It feels calm and fun.
And notice when you're there, what happens to all the frustration that you had been carrying?
Now it's gone.
So you're in a whole different frequency right now. Because to your body, there is no difference whether this is happening in this physical reality or if it's happening in this spiritual reality. Your body doesn't know the difference, and that's beautiful. So we're going to ask every cell, every fiber, every tissue of your being to open and receive this frequency of fun, this frequency of oneness, of union. I'm hearing, meet me here every day, Carolyn.
Okay.
Conversations on the rocks. Is there anything else you want to ask them?
This is beautiful. I just feel love and fun and light and but I want to make sure that we understand each other just from I understand this, but the companion, the body that I'm living with. When I say that awake and aware, it's not like I expect Jay to just come back in and say, hey, I'm back. But I understand this, but then the day-to-day part. That's what I wonder if that will change. And if so, what do I need to help do that?
Okay. What I'm hearing is when you go here, it will impact the world that you see with your eyes open. Either one of two things will happen. The physical body will change, or the way the physical body is won't matter. There will be less emphasis on, I need to have it in the physical. When we let go of, I need to have it in the physical, we shift frequency. And when we shift frequency, what we see in the physical will shift.
Oh, wow. That's a lot, Sandy. Wow.
Well, think of it this way, okay? Whatever it is that we're pushing against or frustrated with, what we're really doing, most times unconscious, what we're really doing is we're hanging out in the basement of the frequencies, right? Because we're staying in frustration, which is a lower frequency than love and oneness. But we all do this. We all look out there and say, but I wish this could be different. I want this to be different. I want this to be different. And what we're really looking at is 5%, the 5% that's physical is what we're trying to change. 95% of what's real is unseen. And yet here we are focused on, but I want this to be different, right? So I invite you to completely let it be the way it is right there. And my question that I would ask you to dance with is, do I have the capacity to be with this as it is right now? Exactly as it is. Do I have the capacity within me to be with this as it is and be peaceful? And sometimes the answer is no, I don't have the capacity to do that.
At any given moment, you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when we don't have the capacity to be with something as it is, that's when we want to fix it or change it. And all that means is we have other stuff that's taking up space. It could be fear, it could be doubt, it could be frustration, it could be anger, it could be any kind of emotion. And then Spirit points us to, well, the next question is, do I have the capacity to be with what I feel? Because the only reason we want to change anything outside of us is because of a certain feeling that we're having that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, yes, no, in a given moment, I can absolutely see that.
Yeah.
The man I wake up with, that's all I'm talking about is that, just to talk to this man, like be part of the family. Because I'm here all the time. He gets to come back and forth. I'm assuming that's what I've understood, but no, I understand that, but that's
the practice.
Yeah.
The practice is, can I be with this? Can I be with this as it is? The man that I wake up with, can I be with him as he is? It's almost like I'm waiting for Christmas to come. I can't wait for Christmas to come.
That's what it is.
Right? And the more we do that, it almost feels like we stretch out time. Hold on. Let me go back to Jay. He's just saying, she's trying so hard to understand this with her mental mind. She's trying so hard to understand it with her humanness. And a lot of this is not understandable with the human mind, which is frustrating because we want to understand it.
Yeah.
Oh, he says, please tell her she's not doing anything wrong. You're not. But it's almost like there's... He says, there's nothing you can do to hurry this along. What you can do, if there's anything to do, is to just simply raise your frequency. Because in his dimension, there is no time. There's no...
Yeah, no, right.
No days. There's no time. In his dimension, there's nothing missing. Do you know why? Because his higher self is already connected to your higher self. His soul is already connected to your soul. Right. So from his perspective, there's nothing missing. From our human perspective, we're missing the physical human.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's the human struggle that we go through, especially when someone passes. So when I'm working with clients and they have a willingness to connect with their own loved one in spirit, they get to feel their spirit that's already connected to their loved one's spirit. They feel that. Mm-hmm. And when they feel that, that's why I asked you what happened to the frustration. If frustration is gone, the missing is gone. So if you're missing Jay, connect with your spirit that's already connected to his spirit. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah. But he's right. I am waiting. But I know, I see.
Well, he's saying when we wait, it's like we've already made a judgment that there's something wrong with the moment the way it is. And when we do that, it will feel like we keep prolonging that very thing that we want. It's wild. It's a wild thing. We can collapse time like that by simply going into acceptance and non-resistance. Who was cancer? Who was the cancer with?
My mother.
It was what is your mother? That's what I was sensing.
My father too, actually, both of them.
No, I want to go with your mom. And you understand an E or EL name that would link around her? Either Ellen, Helen, Elizabeth.
Oh, Ellen and Helen, actually.
Who is that?
Well, her sister and her daughter-in-law.
Okay. So your mom, and I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but your mom is saying she's just so happy to be out of her body. And it was just she says it encapsulated my spirit, and I was done before I was done. She says she plays with your hair. Pay attention to when you feel this or this at the back of your head or here, very, very lightly.
I do feel that.
Do you? That's your mom. That's your mom. And she says you'll always be her baby. Always. She just said if she had known. Was she more on the religious side?
No.
Okay.
I don't actually. I say that she did go to church, like religious and rosary reads. No, Episcopalian, but she'd go to church.
Because because the energy that I was feeling, and I thought it was with her, was this energy of religion and what it means, or what death means in a religious sense. Because here's what she's saying. Knowing what the energy of spirit is like, she wouldn't have fought so hard in her life.
Oh. From a religious perspective, or just in general?
In general,
yeah.
She wouldn't have fought so hard. She wouldn't have fought so hard to stay in the physical body.
Yeah.
It's just death is just pure peace. It's freedom. It's freedom. But here's the thing: we don't have to die. We don't have to let go of the physical in order to feel that. We just need to find that space inside of us that already holds peace. And it's within every single one of us. Is there a question that you have for your mom?
I just want to make sure she knows I've forgiven her. We had a tumultuous relationship.
Wow. She says that you didn't even need... From her perspective, Carolyn, once she goes into spirit and she becomes aware of the truth as she knows it, she realizes that forgiveness isn't even needed. So she didn't need forgiveness from you. She said that was something that you gave to yourself. Because she says it's such a different experience when you are back in the light, in the awareness of your full and pure light. Oh wow. Okay, this is kind of deep, because she's saying you get to see how the places that one acts from pain, right? Where it looks like we've hurt another person, there are gifts in every interaction. Every interaction. I could go on and on about this, but I could go on and on about this because she's talking to me at a very high level, because she's saying, in truth, there are no victims. There are contracted experiences.
Yes.
To the average person, though, that will piss them right off. Yes. Because you're going to be like, what do you mean? I would never have contracted for this. I wouldn't have contracted for this. And that's true. The ego would never, the mindset would never have contracted for any pain. The soul, however, sees pain differently.
Mm-hmm.
The soul will sometimes allow us to go through what feels to be a painful experience for the growth, for the gift. Every experience holds a gift for us.
Yes. And I think when you thank those struggles and realize you can learn from them, it's so easier, so much easier to just live like that.
Do you understand why she would be bringing me into like the middle of April? I feel like I'm like, as a birthday anniversary date of passing, I'm getting 418.
She died in May. My father died on Thanksgiving. No, I don't know.
418.
Not a birthday either.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to take that back, because sometimes when something doesn't make sense, when I'm bringing spirit in, it just means it's not recognized right now. So just hold 418. I would mark that on my calendar.
From the past, not or the future.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It's just I feel like I'm kerplunked, like right in April 18th.
Okay. I'm going to mark it on the calendar too.
I would. And I'm hearing, and just be open. Just be open.
Okay.
You know, I wonder what that would even, like numerology, 41818.
I know. I was just looking at that.
That I would want to play with that.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. What other questions do you have? Anything?
No, not really.
Hold on. Jay says he plays with the pictures in your home. So because if you ever notice, your pictures are like off balance.
I do notice that, actually. That's him. Yeah, okay.
He likes to goof with you, Carolyn. He likes to goof with you. He likes to mess with you. And he's asking me to give you one rose, just one rose, as a significance of his love. Because he says less is more and simple is better.
He used to do that all the time, Sandy. All the time.
One rose?
One rose, one something. Every time I saw him.
Because he says less is more. And he's asking you, I love that he used to do that. But what he's asking you to do is just keep your life simple, best you can. Like, make sure you have space in your home. Make sure you have space in your heart. Make sure you have space in your mind. Like, space will be your best friend. Like, don't rush to fill the space.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He says, I'm always with you. Always with you.
He is very funny.
He's saying take good care of your toes. This is bizarre. Like, I don't know if your feet or your toes get cold.
Uh-huh.
Do they?
Oh, okay. What did he say?
He's just, the way I'm hearing it is, tell her to take care of her toes. Like, I feel like he's like massaging your toes and your feet. And like, take good care of them. Just take care of them. That's all I'm getting. What is that?
It's just, oh my God. There's, how we all have our little idiosyncrasies, things that drive us crazy. I have one with my toes. I don't know what it is. I hate toes. They're gross. I don't like them. And that, my dear, is a very private issue with me. I never
Not anymore.
What?
Because he's just
man.
He's just having me rub my own toes, and he's like, tell her this is what I'm doing to her. I'm rubbing her toes. That's his plan. He's also bringing in Wizard of Oz for you, and asking me to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow as a significant. Hold on, there's something to that. If it's sometimes when because I received this other times with spirit, and sometimes the interpretation of that is, well, the person loved Wizard of Oz, or sometimes they can be pointing me to the name of Dorothy, but I'm feeling more that it's the symbolism of her journey. Like, she felt lost and she didn't know that she had the ability to go home. anytime. And my sense with you, although I do think there's going to be other interpretations of Wizard of Oz for you, but he's saying, you don't know how close I am. Like, all you have to do is like close your eyes and I'm there.
Yeah.
Like that's how close he is to you. Dorothy didn't know. She didn't know how close she was to home.
That sounds exactly right. Oh, yeah.
All right. Why is he bringing in these little piggies? Little piggies.
Little piggies.
Yeah. Pass the pig. It's, I don't know. Is that like a dice game? Like, you know that game?
There was a little pig game. Yeah.
Why is he bringing that? Why is he showing me that?
I think there was one on his coffee table 100 years ago.
Okay. He's just laughing. They will bring in sometimes the most random things to make a connection.
That means something.
That would mean nothing to me if someone said, yeah, they're bringing in little piggies. I'm like, what?
Yeah, the little piggies. Yeah, that is a game. It's like, yeah.
Like, some land like this, and some land down like that, and some land on their side.
On the side, yeah.
Just laughing. He just wants you to have fun. He says he's trying to lighten you up.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just asking me to go like this to you. I'll do it over here so you can see it. Like, just notice, he says, notice this. So notice the hearts, but also notice the hands in the shape of a heart, Carolyn. That will be significant as a sign going forward.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not going to say goodbye.
Okay.
They don't ever. There is no goodbye needed because there's nowhere that they go. They just, it's like, okay, we're aware of them, and now I'm aware of my paperwork here, right? Wherever we place our awareness,
right,
is what we are aware of. That was brilliant. That was so brilliant.
Oh man. Okay, I'm not going to say goodbye either.
No need to. Till later.
Oh my God, Sandy, holy shit.
Oh.
Thank you for that.
He's very loving. You're welcome.
Oh. I got a lot to think about. Got some practicing to do. I got some practicing to do.
Let it be easy.
Let it be easy. No.
Don't make it be another project that I gotta do. No. That's what you do, honey. I gotta do this. I gotta put it on my to-do list. No, you don't. Just bring your awareness to it.
Oh, God.
Laughter is so important, Carolyn. I love having people laugh. It's, it's a big,
yeah.
I bring humor into my sessions. I bring them into the public events that I do because it's just, laughter raises the vibration, and it just is very healing too. So he loves when you laugh.
Yeah, I laugh a lot.
Nice.
All the time.
Nice.
Yes, I do. Oh my God.
Okay, I thought I was done with him. He's like, one last thing. Take your focus off of your husband. Take your focus, right? Because your energy just shifted as soon as I said that. Because the thought of him feels heavy in your mind. His energy is not heavy. It's the thoughts around him that are heavy. So he says, take your focus off of that and bring it here. Okay?
Yeah. There's comparison going on in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, the mental mind will say, yeah, but if I don't, it won't change. And that's just what the mental mind says. That's what our ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also that, Jay calls him the X. The man who walked out, he calls him the X. Well, the X would do that, the X would do this, and I know that's the X. And yes, I think about the cellular memory in the body, he still does some of those things, but just not with the little pigs in the toes. Okay, Jay, I get it.
So can I ask you?
Mm-hmm.
So what is it like? What is your life? What's it like to be you right now? The way things are, not in terms of emotion. What does it feel like? But what is it like to have this body that you wake up next to? What's the question I'm really asking? I'm not quite sure.
How do you feel differently?
Huh?
How does it feel differently or?
Yeah, like, do you have like a, X% feels like my husband and X% feels like Jay?
Yeah, it's, you want, because I can tell you a little bit about that story. You got a minute. So the process from the walk-in, the actual walk-in, they switched the silver cords and whatnot. That was in 2013. And it was instant. It was instantly Jay, all of Jay. And then they realized, because this hasn't happened before, but his guys on the other side, the White Brotherhood, whoever, realized they couldn't let all of Jay come in all at once, because she was starting to short out. He needed to continue Tom's job, that kind of thing. So they pulled him back and let him start to see just little bits at a time. So in other conversations with him, he says he's about 92 to 93% there, but it's almost like brain surgery, and it's one little memory string at a time. So when I say that, it's I do realize he's around me all the time. I get that. And thank you for telling me about the pictures. I think that's hysterical. I'm going to really watch for that, because I have noticed that. But through this whole process with his guides, Jim and Joe, they've said, yes, this is what's going to happen. He's been given permission to remember this. He's been given permission to wake up completely to it in this body. And that's what they're working on, thread by thread by thread. So to answer that question, it's I see little things on a daily basis, and overall, he's awesome. He's almost all Jay, the funny, the intellect, the wise guy. He's so much back in that body.
Wow. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
City of Angels.
Oh yeah,
Did you see that movie with Meg Ryan? And
I did. I didn't like the ending one
I
bit.
didn't like the ending either. I hated the ending.
No.
But what a cool movie.
Yeah.
I believe anything is possible. So this is exciting. I'm so glad I get to witness this with you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Thank you for the communication. That was right on. That was right on. And it's so interesting. It's just a little different perspective of all the same stuff, of all of actually what's happening.
Right.
But that's the first time, hey, meet me halfway. Oh my God, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I don't know that I ever would have gotten that. Just here I sit.
Good.
Yeah.
So good to see you.
You too, honey. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome.
All right. We'll see you next time. Mwah.
Okay. Mwah. Bye-bye.